one of the most useful things you can do every week is finish your Hall of Illusion, especially on Nightmare, for a few reasons. There are lower difficulties, but in Nightmare, you're guaranteed a second set of runes. Additionally, you get the 5% chance of one of these high-tier accessories. That does mean only once every about 6 weeks on average will you get one, but it is still very much worth doing to try to get that. And so with that, and all of the new players coming on board from several sources, I thought I would help make a updated guide for beating each Hall of Illusion. With that, I'm going with a very common class so that everybody can kind of relate as to what to do. I'm doing an Invocator. This is my alternate character, so I don't really have good stuff, and I don't main Invocator at all. I have the Foci Staff, which is a tier 2. It is good because of the species damage boost, but otherwise it's nothing too terribly special. And I have the Healer Wand, because I do play healer here and there, just to fill a slot in dungeons. So my weapons aren't great. My armor set's nothing special. I do have a Heroic Helmet, but only level 8. Hellfire Cloak, 2-piece Brute. I'll pause on these for a second if you want to see traits or whatever. I have 2-piece Imperial, because like I said, I don't main Invocator, and this is the right set for what I do main, which is Eradicator, actually. And then I just have a generic, well, not generic, but a Nebula necklace, but tier 2. A generic tank bracelet. I do have 2 really good rings from the Hall of Illusion. Band of Brutal Agony, which actually that one might have came from the guild. And then Ring of Fractured Growth. So I do have a really good ring. Teardrops, which is a very common drop in an open dungeon, and just my Path of Ascension belt. So nothing special here. As for my weapon mastery, my staff is level 190 or 191. This is how I have it set up. The most important pieces for new players who don't know Invocator very well, Mana Ball Salvo is very important. Other than that, everything else is kind of just nice. This one's very nice. This one's useless. This one's very nice, along with the species damage boost to power it up or to activate it. This one helps a lot. And then your mana regen, because mana is always an issue. And then your power surge for max damage. And then every weapon has one, most of them have 2 nodes that give you an extra attribute point. This one gives you wisdom, and this one gives you strength. On the wand, it's only 150. You've got these 2 that are very important. Corrupting Hit, that's very important. And you can actually get away with not using this one and only using this if you know it's night. But I believe Hall of Illusion, it counts as day. I'm not certain, so I just use both active. You need self-healing, so I don't have this active now. Your other option, if your weapon doesn't have self-healing, is the Void Stalker tier 2 set. With that, you can get a lot of self-healing. Then the other things here on the wand, this is really important, this is really important, and this one's kind of crucial. You really need to have this one with the wand on Invocator to do damage. And then everything else is just kind of there. But of course you can pause and copy these. I do have more overall weapon mastery skill than you might have if you're a newer player, in which case you would just take the 4 that you can get for the combat power. This one of course helps a lot for attribute points, and the poison helps with Curse Explosion. So that's my build, nothing special. You should be able to get to its damage output fairly quickly. Your Path of Ascension probably isn't as powerful as this, but as you build up towards your best in slot stuff, you very well could get there. So with that, let's jump into this week's Hall of Illusion. This week's Hall of Illusion I do consider to be one of the more difficult ones because it's easy to screw it up and end up dying. So as you learn it, don't get frustrated as you die several times, but once you get it down, it's actually not too terribly bad compared to some of the others. Haylock, you need to focus on his pillars, and this guy you just have to constantly basically be moving. But he has a lot of attacks, and you have to time a lot of dodges, where in this one you just kind of stand still and attack him and his pillars. You don't need anything special on your skill bar, thankfully, so I just have a generic attack skill bar. You're welcome to copy this if you want to for Invocator. Here's the skill specializations for wand and staff. Unlike some other Hall of Illusions where you need a specific skill for a specific mechanic, this one you don't, so just go basically all out damage. You might want some AoE for the middle fight, the ads, but it's not too terribly big of a deal. So yeah, with that, let's jump into it. Okay, for Haylock here, we're going to take the health buff. Okay, the first thing you want to know about this boss is you want to be up close. If I attack him from way back here, he's going to, not right away apparently, he's going to pull me in like that. So just go ahead and get close because he's just going to pull you in. Now these little crystals on the side that I just blew up, that was right here, and there's going to be a lot more of them. You're going to want to blow them up as they come up, or relatively soon after. The more of those that are up, when he does his special attacks a little later on, they do more damage based on how many of those crystals are there. Right there, that attack right there, boom, it blew up, and of course just one's not going to matter, but the more crystals there are, the more damage, especially a little later. So you want to kind of prioritize targeting them until you have enough damage to kill this guy really quickly. The other is on his fury attacks, like this one right here. You notice these lines on the ground? They will hurt you and add stacks to you, so you want to stay out of those and try to line them up such that you're not at risk of hitting a bunch of them. During this attack, avoid the blue dots on the ground. And then this attack, just kind of wait. And then he's going to teleport you. You want to get out of that. And then here is kind of hard to time it, but you want to block these 3 attacks. If I screwed that one up, I got that one. Then he's going to do another big attack. And we definitely want to block that one. And then he does this attack. This one you can't really block, you just have to have the health, and you'll see my health is actually kind of low because I'm not really attacking him yet. And then he's going to go back to the center and rinse and repeat. So again, blow up the crystals while he's doing his normal attacks here as they pop up. Like that one. There we go. On his furies, block them and try to stack them, and don't stand inside of those lines best you can. Be close to the boss. Blow that thing up. So that he doesn't pull you in, and then when he does his other mech, dodge, roll the attacks. Oh, I missed that one. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start unloading on him here. Okay, 2 things I forgot to mention while I was watching this. You can see above my head there's some stacks. If you don't get both those stacks cleared by perfect blocking those 2 wrath attacks, he will kill you with this attack right here. So you need to get those perfect blocks, at least 2 of them. And then that tornado attack, normally he goes after you. I don't know why he didn't there. You do not want to get hit by that tornado attack generally, depending on how defensive you are. That does a lot of damage if you're a newer player. So dodge that tornado attack and be sure to get your perfect blocks on his wrath attacks before that, because they will do a lot of damage. And I forgot to mention that in my first run. So there we go. This next one is a little bit more complex. Again, I'm going to want the health. Okay. The shielded guys, you can only break their shield with the falling rocks. So as I kill these little guys here in a second, which I don't really have an AoE bar with the Invocator because I don't main Invocator and don't have one to switch to. So if you switch to your AoE bar, this part's easier. I'm just going to have to do it the hard way. You see this red on the ground? You want to lure the guys with shields into that red. And not just them, but everybody else that you can as well. Try to lure them into it. There we go. The more kills you get with that, the sooner this clears. I actually don't know how many kills you have to get with that. I'm going to kill the ranged guys because they can stun you. You can sit inside the red. It does some damage depending on your level, but it stuns you, but you can defend it. You see I had a defense there. So with your Q, if you're... oh, I want to leave these guys over here. Oh, and I'm the only one that got hit on that one. Yeah, you definitely try not to get stunned, because these guys add up a lot of damage over time. And if you have AoE, that's better, but kill the little ones to get the rocks to spawn, and then lure everybody into the rocks. No, target that guy, thank you. That's the guy I want to kill. Okay, is there any red? Yep, I hear it. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to lure everybody into this. I'm just going to go and stand in and block. And there we go. I killed enough now. Before we get into this fight, there's a few things I want to explain, because it's hard to explain during the fight, I found. So you've got these 3 effect stones. This one is the demon, has a little demon above him. You have the flame one over there, and the lightning one over there. Throughout the fight, these have different effects. The demon one will spawn little demons that will stun you and you want to kill them as fast as possible. The lightning one will do lightning attacks on the ground that you have to dodge. And the flame one will create a flame on the ground that has damage that you don't want to stand in. During the fight, he's going to say, "Nothing escapes my flames." He'll fly high into the air and come down in the center, and when he does, you'll see the red on the ground you want to jump. At that point, you won't be able to target or attack him, and you need to destroy one of the effect pillars. The effect pillar is actually the little pillar in the back, not the stone itself. A couple other key things in the fight. One is you pretty much want to constantly be moving, either to his left or to his right. You don't want to be standing in front of him as much as you can. He has one wrath attack where he'll lift up his right arm and attack on his right, so your left. So you want to move to his left, your right, if he does a wrath attack. If he does a fury attack, he'll charge his tail and he'll attack from his left side, your right side. So if he does a fury attack, you want to move. Eventually you kind of just learn it. You can just block them if you go to the incorrect side, because it is a fury and wrath, so you can block. If you don't, it's likely to stun you. And right after he does that, he jumps into the air and then he hits you with his wings, with the air from his wings, I guess, and it does a lot of damage. So if you do go to the incorrect side, be sure to block. When you destroy the pillar, he will gain an effect from the summon stone or the summon mirror. The flames become more powerful. He'll do a lot more lightning attacks himself. And I'm actually not 100% certain what the demon one gives him. This is the one I prefer to kill first, because when the demons get spawned, they make it really inconvenient. So if I have a choice, I will attack this one first, but if I'm closer to one of the other two when that happens, I'll just go ahead and go with that, because it's not as big of a deal. But that's kind of how this fight goes, a lot of moving around. So yes, a lot of explaining, but like I said, this is kind of a more complex fight, but let's get into it. I'm going to start off with a lot of damage here, just to get him going on his mechs and stuff. So there, he did a wrath attack, so I moved to his left, my right. Then he jumps up into the air and does a wing attack. So I did not want to be standing in front of him. When he jumps up, you want to be jumping, then he's likely to pound his fists. In that case, he didn't. There we go. Nothing escapes my flames. He goes into the air. You want to jump to avoid that attack, and then destroy one of these pillars. You can destroy it much sooner than I did there. In this case, I destroyed the fire one first. That was kind of a mistake, but it's not a big deal. Now his flames do more damage. If you don't destroy that pillar, he kills you with that attack that he just did. There, he did a fury attack, so he does his tail. I didn't get out of the way. I got stunned. I'm going to hit by the wings. And that does a lot of damage if you're not more sustainable than I am. The ads are spawning. There we go. When he says something about a blast, you want to get to his side or his back. Don't be standing in those flames. Those flames are very powerful. Again, he jumps. Don't be standing in front of him when he does that one. And all those flames on the ground are because I destroyed that flame pillar. Though that's just one of his basic attacks, but I believe it does do more damage because I gave him the flame effect. Try to get him into the next phase here. Don't be standing in front of him. There we go. Nothing escapes my flames. I'm going to go and destroy the demons because they will continue to stun me. There we go. So here I can't target him. He'll gain the effect of the demons, which I'm not really sure what that is actually. I need some health, so I'm going to go ahead and attack him. Oh, I screwed that up. Supposed to jump dodge those, but I didn't. He jumps into the air. Don't be in front of him. But yeah, basically throughout this entire fight, you want to try not to be in front of him. I missed that one. He's going to do his flames. I'm just going to go ahead and run away. He's going to come at me there. That works. I got to jump here. Wow, I'm really getting low on health. Thank you, Hellfire Rain, for all the health. Nothing escapes my flames. Jump to dodge that one. Destroy one of these pillars. And that's all three. We're getting down to the end of the fight here. But yeah, the core is don't stand in front of him for the most part. And be sure to destroy those pillars. And those demons are very, inconvenient. I moved to his right because he did his wrath attack there. Or sorry, my right, I guess. His left. I stood in front of him too far. He's going to do his flames now. That's really going to hurt. I'm going to just try to get up next to him. And when you're not trying to explain these as you go, it's a lot easier to dodge all this stuff. But yeah, just try to get to his side, and you can kill him. But yeah, lots of movement on that guy. Let's see. This is actually my third run, because the last recordings I wasn't happy with, and I got Fortitude coins, more unlock stones. So that is this week's Hall of Illusion.